Fight!
Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Jeremy Dooley.
And if you've been hoping for the world's most popular video game review aggregator to come down from on high and settle the Game of the Year and Best Platform debate for 2015, you're in luck, because Metacritic has spoken.
Thank you, based review aggregator. Surely your declarations will put all the haters in their rightful places.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it'll actually settle any kind of debate at all, because look, we love the consoles we love, and you do you, but Metacritic has published its yearly review, compiling data from a bunch of sites that like to put scores on stuff to declare not only the best game of the year, but also the best console to have owned in 2015. This is gonna be fun.
Asking for trouble.
Winning Game of the Year honors is none other than Metal Gear Solid 5, the sort of incomplete but still amazing tactical stealth open world take on Hideo Kojima's celebrated series, and his swan song with Konami.
The game comes in with an overall score of 95 across all its platforms, just ahead of The Witcher 3 and Undertale, both at 93, and Bloodborne at 92. Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC would be the winner for this year at 96, but Metacritic is only factoring for new releases, not titles that originally released earlier on different platforms. I wonder what the outside the game drama between Konami and Kojima would have scored. Can we start reviewing video game news?
That's probably 100 out of 100. That's got to be the big one for the year.
Clash.
Metacritic's also named PlayStation 4 its best platform of the year, with the PlayStation 4 coming in with more games scoring over 90 than any other platform, with a total of 6. That's compared to 2 on Xbox One, 1 on Wii U, and 5 on PC. Yeah, that just started a lot of fights. In addition to that, the PS4 versions of multi-platform games tend to review just a little bit higher, coming in at 70.5 versus Xbox's 70.4. Sales aside, Wii U had a tough year with an average score of 67.1.
Wii U's had a tough life.
It has.
But we're actually going to call a little bit of bullshit on the list, because they're clearly pitting consoles against each other and disregarding PC as a real competitor. What? Why would you even do that? PC games...
It's all about the story you want to write. Data can tell a lot of
good
things.
point. PC games get reviewed even higher on average, scoring at 70.8. And sure, we're talking decimal places here,
Unless you're talking about Wii U.
Right, yeah, let's not bring that up. When you look at the number of good exclusives, which counts games that scored higher than 75, the PC has 53.
That's a lot. That's so a lot.
God, that's more than the good and great games of the other platforms combined. So yeah, where's your PC love, Metacritic? It's reviewed higher, it has way more good games, and just one less exclusive great game. Yes, we all enjoy a good console war because we need something to fight about.
What else are we gonna do with all of our time?
I mean, we
games?
need it in the comments. Like, we need those fights.
Yeah, not that PC gamers need any more ego stroking for the superiority complex. I'm sure everyone's just hanging out quietly, playing Undertale and Pillars of Eternity, not leaving salty comments on internet videos, right?
I'm sure not. No.
But those salty comments are how I found about Undertale, so you're doing God's work, I guess. On the not so great side of things are the handhelds. Both the Nintendo 3DS and the PS Vita had 0 great games reviewed between them, as defined by the hallowed average Metacritic score. The games that came closest were, of course, Majora's Mask for 3DS and Ollie Ollie 2 for Vita. Again, though, that's only for titles that released for the first time this year. There were a lot of great games that released for those systems. Shovel Knight for Vita comes to mind, but since they've previously been available on other platforms, they're not counted here.
That's a shame.
I know, Shovel Knight's so good.
Great game. Of course, this isn't just a collection.
Of course.
I said isn't because I was so excited. All right. Of course, this is just a collection of data from video game reviews and isn't definitively stating that one game is better than the other.
Well, I mean, it is, but that doesn't mean that it is.
Yeah, but not really, right, Metacritic? As with any game, your mileage is going to vary based on what you like in games. So playability is a really personal thing when it comes down to it. But it's kind of cool to see where all these games shook out from a critical perspective by year's end. If you recall, last year the honors went to Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U, and Grand Theft Auto 5 scoring top marks in 2013, The Walking Dead in 2012, and Arkham City way back when in 2011.
Man, I remember when the Batman Arkham games worked. Basically, it's all... Are you sad now?
I'm sad.
You're sad. We're all sad. Basically, it's all subjective, and you can make data say a lot of different things. It depends on what you want the story to be. If you look at commercial success as your metric for online arguments about the superiority of your favorite games, then the sales numbers reflect something totally different. The best-selling games of the year were Black Ops 3, FIFA 16, Battlefront, Fallout 4, GTA 5, and Splatoon, of all things. It's kind of funny how it works out. The highest-rated games didn't perform as well commercially, but You also can't deny the mass market appeal of the big games either.
No, those are a lot of heavy hitters. I've totally forgot about most of those. All that's well and good, but Metacritic offers a bit more interesting analysis in its reports as well. Apparently, 2015 matched 2014 in the number of great games scoring over 90, but that gives 2014 and 2015 the lowest number of great games in a single year over the past decade.
Ouch. That hurts.
That's really bad. This could be an indication that it's taking developers a bit longer than normal to transition to the new hardware of our current console generation, or it could mean that as games get more complex, greatness is just a bit harder to attain.
So, this is where we get to ask the really divisive question. Are games getting worse? Or are we just getting harder to please as gamers? I mean, looking at the top Metacritic scores over the last decade reveals a very specific trend. Starting in 2011, the number of great games, that is, once again, the games that score 90 or above according to Metacritic, so there's always wiggle room, but that's what we're going with for
Always
this
back to
examination. Seems to be steadily dropping year over year, from 30 at the peak in 2011 down to 15 this year. And this comes after an explosion of tons of great games from 2007 to 2011. So it could be argued that as game developers hit their strides with the new hardware, it's natural to see games improve, only to dwindle down once again as they start shifting gears for the next generation.
Yeah, but looking at where we are in the current generation, it seems like the games would have picked up by now. A comparable year for last generation was 2008, which was 2 to 3 years into that console cycle. And they had over 27 great games, according to Metacritic's data. That was the year we saw games like Gears of War 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, and Fallout 3.
Well, we have done our best to get a whole bunch of those franchises this year, just not as many of them are scoring high. So maybe there is something to the idea that this generation is taking developers a little longer to get into the swing of things. After all, a quick glance at next year's games reveals that we might be hitting that point where we see an explosion of awesome stuff to play all over again. Or maybe bigger, more ambitious games are leading to an overall dip in complete masterpieces. I mean, if you've got a game with a ton of gameplay systems in it, it's going to be harder for it to feel more cohesive and complete.
There's something to be said for doing simple things well. That's part of the reason why Undertale has been such a huge success on the PC this year, and probably why the PC sees such a huge disparity in the number of good games in general. It tends to get the rap of having all the overly complex, too huge games, but it's also the environment where simple games flourish.
It's true, so maybe AAA console makers could learn something from their PC brethren. Just to hold her right there, guys.
What? We're the best!
Not every game needs to be so hugely scaled. We can get more Portals and less, maybe over budget shooters. All three consoles are making strides to embrace indie development in their own ways, and I'd say PS4 is ahead this generation, but none of them compare to the Nirvana that was the Xbox 360 arcade. That was a golden era for console platform.
What do you guys think of Metacritic's data and the games they've crowned king? Is Metal Gear Solid 5 your game of the year? Is PC still the best place to be a gamer? Let's just keep it civil in the comments. Maybe we can try. But you know what? Let's start the countdown to outrage in 3, 2, comment.
Already started. To stay informed of how your most anticipated games are being reviewed in 2016, remember to like this video, subscribe to the know, as you do. If you've been hoping for the world's most popular game,
surely your declarations will be put in all based review. What is based? I don't even know what based
means. Some stupid meme. So wait, what were you eating that you can't talk?
Sour balls. That's what they're called. They're just sour candies that burn my mouth.
You did good.
Thank you.
You spoke.
Yeah, I flowed through it.
You were just
Once
good.
you hit that first flub, though, it's all downhill from here.